get here on time. There's still a lot of empty chairs. Okay? It's a little bit after 10:10.
All right, you guys quiet down, please. All right, just one quick thing. If you're interested in boys tennis or girls softball, your coaches will be here for a quick meeting about the season. That's going to happen in room 1 and 2 at 3 o'clock. So do that and then go to your open fitness. Now for a featured presentation.
Is falling away, and oh, it's falling away. I see. It's very, very extraordinary. There's something more than anyone that you adore, and love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Love and forget. Take my heart, please don't break it. Love was made for me and you.
So, if you didn't get the memo, Valentine's Day is next weekend. So, student council is going to be having a candygram flower. We're gonna chocolate rose sale. We're gonna have chocolate roses, so you can buy them for $2 for your friends, and then they will be delivered during PATH by Cupid. So we'll be making free candygrams for everybody, but if you want to make one special and give them a chocolate rose, it'll be $2 per rose. So we'll be selling that during lunch Monday and Tuesday next week.
If you're one of the presidents or officials of Futurist Club, Game Club, Lit Mag, or Poetry Club, please try and talk to one of us today, because as of right now, we don't know if your club still exists. And then if you're in Thespian Club, we're taking your picture at the beginning of lunch and table tennis at the end of lunch.
And also, parents, make sure you turn in your money for the yearbook ads as soon as you can, because the sooner you turn it in, the sooner we can guarantee you a spot in the yearbook. Thank you.
A few announcements. Quiz Bowl is going to be at lunch today in room 3. Anybody who is on the swim team, could you please meet me at the flagpole after break? Oh.
One thing about room 3, first of all, you're in there, you're eating lunch in there. What do you do with your trash when lunch is over? Throw it out. Throw the trash cans outside of room 3. Thank you.
Yeah. And then also, JSA, anyone who's going to Winter Congress, it seems like my email actually didn't make it to a lot of you, so I'm going to be resending that. But please, it'll have the information for how much your checks are going to be. Get those into me within the next week. So look out for those emails.
While you in a very important meeting tomorrow, we'll be going over some very exciting things like parliamentary procedure. So see you there.
Okay, so girls lacrosse season is coming up, and we understand that most people are still in winter sports right now. But if you aren't in winter sport, meet us up on the lower field right after right after health and fitness, and we're gonna be talking a little bit. You don't have to be changed out. Just come up and meet me.
Yeah, for the next couple weeks until winter sports are over, we're going to be just going over some really basic stick skills for those of you that aren't doing something right now. We have sticks for you, so it's okay if you don't have one. We're still 2 players short of a full team at the moment, so please, if you have any interest, do come out. Thank you. Okay, never mind.
So, Theology Club meeting tomorrow at lunch at the usual spot. This is the last week that we're going to be talking about Islam. So, if you haven't done all the reading, I will admit you haven't done all the reading. I'll admit it, I haven't done all the reading. If you could please do that for tomorrow, that would be super awesome. Kevin's not going to be there, so... Yes, I will. Did you make a lesson plan? Did you make a plan?
anybody who's interested, if you haven't been to any of the meetings before, please come out. It would be great. Also, on a different note, does anybody have an old pair of jeans laying around in their closet? I'm sure I have tons. I have a solution just for you. I'm running a drive for jeans for homeless teens in the Monterey County area. So it would be great if you guys could bring in jeans of all sizes, colors, between now and February 26th. I have a bin in the back of the chapel near Mr. Hunt over there. Thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.
So it's the season of love, and we'd like you to show your love and appreciation to our donors. It's called Love a Donor Day. So on February 10th to 11th, we'll be having little Valentine stations either in the Commons or in the Student Center, depending on the weather. So you can make Valentines to our donors and just express your love and gratitude because they make our school so amazing. So please come. Thank you.
Just to reiterate what Grace and Eloise said, thespians, yes, we are still here. We're going to be taking our picture for the yearbook at lunch today, beginning of lunch. So where are we taking? Flagpole. At the flagpole. So please be there if you're in thespian.
It's table tennis club meeting today. Pictures. If you can't go to the meeting, meet us at 12 at the tables. Thanks.
Girls and boys basketball have a home game tomorrow against PCS. Girls start at 5, boys start at 6:30, I think. So everyone, please come and support.
Let's get down to business to defeat hunger.
Basically, we're back again to talk about Rice Plus and how you guys should all donate because there was only $1 when we checked. So we needed 359 more to meet our goal. Yep.
Please
So,
donate.
yeah, and basically, if you all donated, we'd have like $230. If you only donated $1, which isn't that much, because you probably spend about that much on the vending machine. So, donate. It's in the office.
Just let me follow up really quickly with that. I think this is a really important project. We've been talking a lot lately, especially in PATH, about showing concern for others. It's pretty clear that in the great tradition of the Golden Rule, we love our neighbors. There was a lot of love being exchanged up here just moments ago. But it's also important to show concern for those outside our community who are in need. So I'll make you this offer. You donate in that box, and I'll match what you contribute so that we can pay for the rice and the beans and make this a meaningful experience for the whole community. So you donate, I'll match, we'll make it happen.
From the moment one enters the dance world, competition is paramount. Whether at an audition or attending daily classes, the tension can be cut with a knife. I constantly worried if other dancers could do more pirouettes or if their extension was higher than mine. The minute I entered a room, I tried to pick out the person that was better than me. When I danced, I tried to impress whomever was watching. Does she have better technique? Or did she execute the move more gracefully? Were questions that I constantly asked myself. That all changed when I watched The Rising Stars, a dance group for people with special needs at my studio. I had always known about this group, but never appreciated it until this moment. I was waiting in the wings at one of my performances just as the Rising Stars tiptoed on stage. The lights flickered on and the music began. At first, I didn't pay any attention to them because I was too busy worrying about my dance, thinking I might fall or forget the choreography and make a fool of myself on stage. But then I heard the audience start to cheer. I glanced up, and to my surprise,
found myself smiling as they improvised and stole the audience's hearts. They cheered each other on as they moved across the floor, with steps that included the worm and the sprinkler. I even forgot about how nervous I was. They made the saying, "Dance like no one's watching," become reality. It was easily the most interesting dance I had ever watched because of their confidence and captivating moves. I realized they were dancing because they love it. They weren't worried if the person next to them was better, and they certainly weren't worried who was watching. They danced because it made them feel blissful. Suddenly, a wave of sadness washed over me as I realized I used to dance for the pure joy of it when I was younger. When did I start dancing to impress? How did I let myself get caught up in the competitive dance world where it only mattered how high you could get your leg above your head? Their song ended and it was time for mine to start. But this time, I danced for myself, not anyone else. And in my opinion, I danced better than ever before. All of my movements complemented each other and never felt forced. It was like dancing in my room, with no judgments. And if anyone was judging me, I no longer cared. For the first time, my smile was not plastered on my face by force, but because I, too, was in pure bliss. Since that day, I have danced with the mindset of the rising stars. I dance because it's my passion and makes me happy, not because I'm trying to please or be better than others. Now, I dance to express, not to impress.
The San Francisco International Airport loomed above me. I was about to fly to Louisiana without my parents for the first time. The only person going with me was my twin sister, Medline. I had so many worries about the journey ahead. What if I got lost in the airport? What if I missed my flight? What if I got kidnapped? I started to regret ever agreeing to fly alone in the first place, but nothing could be done. I steeled myself as we came up to the door, and with a big breath, stepped inside. We arrived early, so we grabbed some lunch and looked around. Even though I was worried about the trip, I couldn't help but notice all of the interesting and exciting things to look at. There were clothing shops, electronic stores, and more restaurants than you can imagine. I wanted to look through each one, but eventually it was time to board the plane. We cleared our table, grabbed our bags, and headed through the terminal. When we arrived, I hugged my parents, and finally, Medline and I got in line. We handed our tickets to the flight attendant and headed towards the door. As we reached it, I turned around and waved to my parents one last time. Then I gazed down the long, gray hallway, and taking another deep breath, boarded the plane. Finally, Medline and I found our seats and plopped down on the soft leather. Then, the pilot came over to our seat. He pulled out his phone and showed us a picture of my dad waving. That little image made me feel so much better. Finally, I began to relax. Even though the flight to Louisiana only took a couple of hours, there were plenty of things to enjoy about it. My parents had gotten us really nice seats, so we definitely flew in comfort. I enjoyed myself so much that I didn't want to leave the plane. Eventually, we arrived in Louisiana, and my panic returned. I wondered if my aunt and uncle would be waiting for me, but as I entered the terminal, I saw two people waving at me. We made it to Louisiana without any disasters. Because of this experience, I learned that it's okay to be alone sometimes. Also, I shouldn't be afraid to try something new just because it's new. At the time, I had been afraid to fly thousands of miles away without my parents. But I found out that trying something different can be a good thing, especially when that thing helps you gain independence and confidence that you wouldn't have without taking a few chances.
All right, we're in the height of honor ensemble season. The last 2 or 3 weekends there have been honor bands, orchestras, choirs, another one this weekend, another one next weekend. But now I'm going to announce the names of the people who have made it into to the Monterey Festival Honored Jazz Ensembles. This is amazing. In the band, Philip Gormier, Anthony Paolini, Dominic Van Ness, John Yeager, and Kevin Zamzel-Pollock. In the vocal jazz ensemble, Alex Davies, Maddie Jewell, CJ Pagazian, Jenny Rakusa, Mary Grace Sizemore, Corinne Traxel, and Catherine Yeager. This is the smallest school in the county, but we have more people than any other school in the Jazz Festival Honor Groups.
Okay, I have a lot of respect for you sophomore speech people. It's so nerve-wracking being up here. Okay, so my first announcement is I would like the following students to stand, please. Emma Griffin-Ortiz, Taylor Johnny, Amelia Chombliss, Joseph Ewing, and CJ Pagazian. Would you guys mind standing? Or maybe you're already standing. Okay, so these 5 students will be in a show at the Carmel Art Association. The show, I'm not sure actually how long it runs for. Do you know? About a month, but the opening is on Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. in Carmel. I have a few more handouts left, so they did beautiful artwork, and you guys should come if you can and support them. So that's my first announcement. My second announcement is that Miss Sherry and I are starting a depression support group. When I was in high school, I suffered from depression, and I felt extremely alone. And I didn't actually even know I had it because I didn't understand what it was. So if some of you are feeling like something has changed about you, something feels different, if you're feeling alone, we want to be there to help you. We do care about your personal happiness, as the survey has shown. So if you are interested in that, we will be having a meeting tomorrow at lunch in the downstairs art room. So please consider coming.
Good morning. In February, Ms. Masson and I host what we call course planning meetings for each grade so that we can make you aware of the amazing curricular options and co-curricular options that you want to think about for the coming year, make plans, take into account taking on as much as you'd like to take on in your life, but also achieving balance and thinking about the implications of your choices on your college applications and the college application process. We start this Monday at 3 o'clock in the chapel for juniors, and then we'll work our way to sophomores and 9th and 8th grade. That information is available in the front office and on the website. Look forward to seeing all the juniors this Monday. Thanks.
If Mr. Walker read your name because you're part of the Jazz Honor Ensembles, please meet me out by the Circles of Learning right after break so I can take your picture. Thanks.
That means Happy New Year in Chinese. February 8th this year is the day of Chinese New Year, and the Chinese class is celebrating it today. At lunch, Lucille Ling and Dominic Van Ness will be giving a special presentation on Chinese New Year. So if you would love to come celebrate, come to room 9 at lunch.
So China has 12 zodiac signs, and the zodiac sign for Chinese New Year this year is the monkey. And this is the character for the monkey. And the monkey has a personality, which is intellect and like cleverness, so it's normally associated with smart people. And then, on another note, I have candy, which people give to each other on the Chinese New Year because, especially children, because if you're sweet today, you're sweet the rest of the year. So this will be handed out outside the chapel.
Thank you.
solo playing as well, and for like orchestras, and for smaller bands, and for single people, and for homeless people for some reason. If you go to China and you see like somebody busking, they're probably using this thing. And it sounds very good in the hands of the professionals, but I'm not a professional. As you can tell, I'm not I'm going to be playing an ancient Chinese song called Ma Li You Yi Ge Yi Zhi Xiao Yang, also known as Mary Had a Little Lamb.